Just starting for people to think about putting together your own sample sequences. But for our mindful minute today, even I know some people, this is your lunch hour, you're busy, this might not be the best day to try out the practices, but I might encourage you just to try at least for the mindful minute, to give it a go. So first, gathering yourself, feeling yourself in your body. We live so much of our life in our head, busy with thoughts. Maybe taking a breath in, a longer exhale out, and evoking, if you would like, something vast, maybe spiritual or philosophical, maybe even the lineage of your vocation, humanity, a big open sky. Using the breath as our centering. If any thoughts arise, no problem. Just return to the breath. Even if the same thought repeats, no problem. It's not exactly the same each time. Back to the breath, touch and go. Feeling yourself grounded. May I be well. May others be well. And one more breath as we start the class. How are you all today? Maybe we'll just begin.
Yes, Julie. We're doing the science at the end of class today, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. So we're beginning with mindful listening and communication. And I'd like to share, so mindful, when you think of mindful listening, what comes to mind for you? So just take a second to ask yourself, what comes to mind when you think of mindful listening and communication? Okay, so I'd like to offer when someone gives us their undivided attention, the message it sends, oh, encouragement. Thank you, Marcia. It brings to mind encouragement when you think of mindful listening and communication. Thank you. Um, so when someone gives us their undivided attention, the message it sends is, I care. I'm here for you. I'm listening. So I'd like to start off with the idea of mindful listening and communication begins with yourself first. It begins with listening to how you're doing, listening to what your needs are, doing what we're going to be teaching, a 5-point check into your body, mind, emotions, and energy, checking in with yourself in these areas. What do I need? How can I best serve these parts of me today? Because as we know, when we're tending to ourselves, when we're not burnt out, when we're watering ourselves like a plant with nutrients, things that we need, sunshine, a walk, a nap, playtime, joy time, downtime, that we're able to listen more compassionately, more from our heart, and therefore able to communicate more clearly, less reactionary. more in a sense of responding from a more stable, centered place. And knowing it's okay, and knowing when you're not in a place to have a certain conversation or in a place to listen to someone compassionately, with your attention. And that's okay. And then to know, okay, I'm not going to have that conversation. It's an important one, and I'm not going to have it today. I'm not up for it. Or, wow, this person, family member, friend, coworker really needs me to be present and listen to them in this moment. And either I can or I can't, and to be aware of that and to have kindness to yourself. Like, okay, I need to tend to myself before I have this important communication, this important time that this person needs for me to really hear them. Um, so then this is an invitation. The next time that you're with a loved one, a friend, coworker, try using your time as an exercise in mindful listening. Simply see if you can just give them your undivided attention. Being fully present, really listening to what they're saying, giving them space to be seen and heard. Just like in meditation practice, if you find your mind wandering or judging what they're saying, just gently bring your focus back to listening. Gently bringing your focus back to listening. Just reminding yourself, people really appreciate it deeply when you're truly listening to them. You'll also find when it's time for you to speak, it's much more likely they'll listen to you in the same way. It's contagious. um, so the greatest gift, again, I think, is that giving our attention, the people in our life, our full attention. In a world that's so disconnected with so much distraction, mindful listening gives you back the possibility of genuine connection. And I know you all know how this feels because, of course, you've had it in your life when someone's been genuinely there for you, seen and heard you, and when you've done that for them. This connection is beautiful. And yes, it does take tending to you. It does take you communicating with yourself in a compassionate way and forgiving yourself, say, when you have been burnt out or overwhelmed and you react harshly, to say, okay, that's a signal to me. Not to punish yourself and go, me bad, but it's a signal to me that, oh, I need to take care of myself. I need something. And find out what that something is. It's so, so worth it to find out what that something or some things are. So, how to listen mindfully. Bullet point number 1, as difficult as it is, give yourself time. Give yourself time to do this check in with yourself. Asking yourself, what do we, talking to the parts of you, so to speak, what do we need today? What do we need today for our body, our mind, our spirit? Just checking in. And then being mindful, of his bodily sensations, thoughts, and feelings, that go racing around sometimes. So attending to them, um, and writing down feeling words, because sometimes feelings can be overwhelming. They can be just overwhelming. So if you take the time to go, okay, I think this is what I'm feeling, this, and this, it's usually a basket of feelings, rarely one feeling. There's underlying feelings, sometimes, well, always to anger. There's underlying feelings to anger. Lots of times it's fear, not always. So then focus on your breath for 4 inhalations and exhalations. Just focus on your breath, bringing your awareness back to your breath and trying to listen from a position of empathy. Like, of course, I'm feeling this way. I haven't had time to take care of myself. I haven't done this, or this that normally help me to feel more grounded, that normally help me to feel better. And, of course, this is how I would talk to a dear friend. Of course, you're feeling this way. You haven't been able to tend to yourself in a meaningful way. You're on empty. You're giving, giving, giving so much all the time. So listening with empathy, and of course, when you're listening to someone, you don't have to agree with a person to acknowledge and see things from their point of view. You know, we can have empathy with a person we don't agree with. You know, you're just doing your best to see it from their point of view. That's all. And then practicing mindfulness meditation is a great way to bring you back to the present moment. So we're going to encourage you to incorporate that into a routine of some sort, whether that's daily, every other day, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however much you can do. Start small. Start small, because that mindful meditation will help bring you back to the present moment. It'll help illuminate what you're feeling. It'll help illuminate the thoughts that you're having. That if we don't take time, they're going to run us. The thoughts and emotions are going to run us. And we're going to be reacting like a ping pong machine, ping ball machine. So to slow down with the breath, checking in with self, taking care of yourself. And then from that, we can offer this mindful listening and communication. And I'd like to open it up now to questions and how you're feeling after this talk. Because it's really crucial to our mental health, our mental, emotional, physical well-being, spiritual, the whole shebang. Because therefore, you know, we can come from a more grounded, caring space with ourselves, and we can offer that to others. And we can talk more at the end too. Yes, I see some chats like, you know, great reminder and doing good.
There's
I'm
some
on
good ones here. There's some good ones. Laurel, while you're channeling stuff too, there's
you-
one that I really appreciate here. I never thought of mindful listening. What a great way to approach people in your life. And then right after that, that was a light bulb moment. Thank you. Yeah, that mindful listening. And we all want to be heard. That Laurel is talking about this empathy. We all want to be heard, and remembering that like, that
Mhm,
wish to be heard and understood.
mhm.
So when we're in that place to be the listener as best we can, that's the mindfulness coming in of remembering, I too have a longing to be heard, to be seen, to be, recognized. And so
Validated.
can we validated? Yes, Laurel. And can I stand in a position to listen and be that person for the other,
Right, right.
Yeah.
And we
And
find
not
that it's
jump
hard,
in, not jump in like I like to do.
right?
Not jump in and
Well, and you know what? When we jump in with helpful thoughts, you know, we think we're being helpful. It really minimizes their feelings.
yeah.
It kind of, it kind of knocks it. It's not helpful. It's not helpful. Our presence, our reflecting back to them, like this is what I hear you saying. That must be really hard. I'm guessing you tell me that sounds hard or that sounds joyful, you know, reflecting back and really being present because none of us want to hear how to fix it
Yeah.
unless we ask, unless we truly do, and then we'll ask.
If you have children in your life, or just for you, there's a wonderful children's book, The Rabbit Listened, and it's about a child grieving that his little, wooden block sculpture has been taken out, and all these different scenarios happen where no one's really listening to him until the rabbit, who just sits and holds space, and it's really beautiful. It's like I wish I had had that as a kid.
Yeah. On my phone, it's hard to see the chats. Can someone tell me what Marcia said?
Yes, I can read that for you, Laurel. This is a great one. Um, So, what tips can you give when you have people in your life that always take over a conversation or your own conversation, when you seem to always be a good listener but don't give the same courtesy? So, still pulling that thread of what we're talking about, but then what
Yeah.
are some mindful tips for when we're having a conversation?
Well, it depends on who. It sounds like it's with close people that are close to you. So
Yeah,
I would just share with them what you're feeling.
that's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to be confrontational over,
Well, it doesn't have to be
yeah.
confrontational, Marcia. You can.
I feel like it is.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah,
But sharing feelings, like if someone came to you and said, Marcia, I'm feeling like I need a little more time because I love your point of view. I love how you help, but I just need a little more time sharing what I need to share with you. How does that sound?
sounds good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's just,
Practice.
yeah, I do. Believe me, I do. And I always think about it, try to think about it ahead, but I think it just takes away sometimes away from your closeness with somebody that you've known
Yes.
for years. And
Definitely.
then, you start thinking about them a different way. And you
Yeah.
don't want to feel like that because you feel like you have to have your guard up every single time you're with them because you think, I'm going to start a conversation, they're going to take it over, or they will finish your sentences. Like, do they
Yeah.
not realize they're doing this? So,
Right. No, it hurts the relationship.
yeah, and
Definitely.
it's hurtful. Yes.
Yeah. 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 And they probably obviously don't have any idea that it is hurtful because they wouldn't, they, you know, I'm sure they're not doing it on purpose to hurt you.
No, I just think that the way they grew up and all the women in their family are bold and
Uh,
always give their thoughts. I think
yeah.
they themselves are always competing against each other because they're they're they think their idea or their um problem is bigger than the other, or they have the solution. So that's what I always tell myself is why, part of the reason why it's like that sometimes. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's an empathetic, caring position to take. And it sounds like a true assessment, honestly.
mhm.
Yeah. Well, do your best and take care of yourself. Surely. Yes. Heidi, Julie, would you like to
Hi.
start with
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
compassion?
we're going to, and I think maybe there'll be something in here that could be helpful too, because sometimes when you can't change behavior um, of others, you can't control. It can at least be a way to deepen your own capacity to love. So we'll try that a little bit. So we're going to be doing a compassion meditation. I do have like just a few slides for this as well. Let's see. I couldn't get it to on this computer. So we're going to do it in the form of a sandwich. I like to think of the compassion or loving kindness sandwich as having a foundation. It really should be at the bottom, a mindful grounding to start with. And this could include feeling your feet on the ground, some mindfulness of the breath, or even prayer. And then the compassion, warm-hearted wish, and then regrounding. Because if you extend compassion and love from a place of grounded stability, your reach will be farther and you're less likely to burn out. Because it's not the compassion that burns out, it's not tending to where your panic points are. So I presented last week when the long-term experts did the mindfulness meditation, they were less reactive in the amygdala to sounds of suffering. And they had even more amygdala when they did the compassion meditation, which sounds like, ooh, are they very reactive? No, it's about the mental strength of attention, allowing you to safely feel these deeper emotions or sympathy. And that can be very important when you have sharp attention needs for certain situations and compassion needs for other situations. You want that flexibility. So, starting out, we're going to begin with mindful grounding, feeling our feet on the ground, reconnecting with the feeling. If you are able to do that mindful minute, being in your body, anchoring your mindful attention on the breath. And from that place of groundedness, we're going to think about a loved one who has supported us in the past. It might be a parent, a grandparent, a family friend, mentor, coach, someone who you felt their love for you was genuine and helpful, and you have some gratitude. And from that space of love, we wish them freedom from any suffering. And you can be specific here if something is ailing them. Imagine that ameliorated, softened. So a burden has been lifted off their shoulders. You can create that wish or prayer. And then imagine what it would be like for them without those burdens, to be able to connect with all the things in their life that bring them joy and happiness. So imagine them relieved, but also happy, content, and even joyful. Extend that feeling as much as possible. And then reground yourself just a bit with your feet on the ground, seat on your chair or cushion. Next, our relationship with ourselves. We can imagine that same love and care we extended to our loved one, extended to ourselves. Wishing ourselves any freedom from any worries, stress, pains, or difficulties. If you have trouble extending that feeling, you can think of your loved one almost as if they're standing at your side, wishing you the same love, the same relief, the same joy, doing what you love to do, living life to the fullest, being at peace. Amplify the feeling as much as you are able, not worrying if it didn't come easily. And then feel your feet on the ground. Drop the exercise briefly. And then begin to extend it like an ever widening circle to the people in your life. Maybe the people who share your household or neighborhood, people that you see regularly, people that you know live there. Maybe you catch a glimpse of them at times. May they be well. May they be unburdened by excessive stress or pain. Extend this to your work environment. May they be well. May they be unburdened by any worries, health issues, pains, grief. And able to experience joy. Extend that circle to the wider organization you might be connected with through work or community, online, and beyond. This city, the state, and the world. Here you might come upon some difficult people may cross your mind. I wouldn't recommend starting with a very difficult or challenging person, but see if you can be a little open to a troublemaker, someone who might annoy you in life a bit, cause some challenges or rough patches. And imagine that whatever is irksome in the situation might be presenting for you an opportunity to reflect on yourself and create the wish that anything that might come from something like a negative feeling is ameliorated and that they and you are happier as a result. Everyone wants to be happy, and sometimes we have different approaches or understandings of that. Not dwelling on this too long, but feeling our feet on the ground, extending that wish as a general wish for happiness for all, peace for all, loving connection for all. You can use prayer if that is something accessible to you. And now we're going to reground with a mindfulness exercise that Laurel is going to lead on emotion.
Oh, thank you, Julie, for that wonderfully kind compassion meditation. Yes, to help us ground ourselves and take care of ourselves. Yes. So I would encourage you to either close your eyes if that's comfortable, or a fuzzy gaze downward, or looking at something pleasant. So whichever feels the most comfortable to you today. And now I'm going to guide you in a guided meditation, and our anchor, our focus will be on the feeling states. So let's take a nice deep breath in through the belly, up through the lungs and chest. Hold it a little and gently let it go with a sigh if you'd like. I call these cleansing breaths before we begin our meditation. And then another deep breath, filling the belly, lungs. Hold it a little and then gently let it go. And then bring your breath back to a normal easy in, easy out, like the gentle waves on the ocean. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just being here present now. Feeling the temperature in the nostrils of the next inhalation. Is it cool or warm? And the next exhalation, is it cool or warm? Maybe noticing the temperature of your room against your skin, your clothing against your skin. And on your next exhalation, allowing your shoulders and jaw to drop just a little bit more. Letting go with every exhalation. A little bit more. Now gently guiding your awareness to your feet. Wiggling your toes a bit. And imagining you had roots like a tree. From the soles of your feet, connecting you deeply, deeply into the earth. For strength, stability, groundedness. Maybe even a sense of connection with nature and all that is. Now let's bring your focus to your next feeling state. Your next feeling. What are you feeling in your body? And just take a look at that. Are you feeling, and if you could label that feeling, what would it be? Would it be boredom? Would it be anxiousness? Contentment? Peace? Frustration? So many feeling words. Just take your time and see which feeling is coming to you. Just allow it to be. And whatever that feeling is, it's not a good feeling or a bad feeling. It's just a feeling. And let's observe it with curiosity. Curiosity of a child, like, oh, look at that feeling. Is it heavy or soft? Is it sharp or light? Where might it be in the body? Where are you feeling it? In your belly, your chest, throat, head, or somewhere else? Wherever that feeling is, just acknowledging it. Hello, feeling. What do you have to share with me? What do you have to share at this time? And you might hear it, you might not. It may not be sharing anything right now, just a feeling in the body, and that's okay. And if you want to come back to it later today, that'd be fine. So now, after you've observed that feeling, gently coming back to your awareness in your body, your breath, feeling your breath in your nostrils without holding your breath or forcing it in any way. And now gently bringing to your awareness if there's another feeling, another sensation in your body. And just observing that as well, with curiosity, without judgment. It's just a feeling. It's just an emotion. And whatever that emotion is, maybe asking it what it wants to share with you, or not. And emotions come and go like the weather. Feelings come and go like the weather. And once we acknowledge it, maybe try to name it. That helps the mind. The mind likes to know. What are we feeling? and to honor that feeling as a messenger. Is it soft or light, heavy, sharp? Where might it be in the body? Sometimes you can ask if there's a color. Is a color or shape to this feeling in the body? Taking your time, allowing it to be. And when you're ready, gently guiding your awareness back to your breath, beginning anew each time. And now, gently bring your awareness back to your room, and back to your feet, grounded to the earth. And if your eyes are closed, you may open them. And then just notice how this experience was for you. And however it was is okay. There's no judgment. However it was is okay. Thank you very much. And now we'll move on to Heidi with mindfulness in our body.
Hi, friends. You can stay just as you are. We're going to do a slow awakening. We've gone through the mindfulness sandwich, leading us through some mindful grounding, compassion meditation, and Laurel's mindfulness body scan and feeling meditation. So again, just welcome back the space you're in. Not only this external environment you're in, the room you're in, but space you're in the body. We'll be moving up to a standing position in just a moment. Unless you're already there, stay right there. But as we greet our standing postures today and our 6 movements of the spine, we're going to bring in this element of compassionate listening, this listening as, someone with the quality of wanting to be heard, wanting to be seen. And the conversation is, the you to you that Laurel loves to share. And I love it too. So the you to you. When we move with our mindful practices, we end up having this conversation. What are we doing? These shapes we're making. And then there's the layer of, well, how does that make me feel? Do I feel strong? Is this uncomfortable? Is this awkward? Is this like, oh my goodness, this feels amazing? And we have all these feelings that can come up in our postures. And those feelings are part of the interoception we've been talking about in Mindful Steps, the listening to sensation. And then we get to be a mindful, compassionate responder. That as you move and breathe and create shapes today, we'll be balancing, we'll be doing some poses that might be considered more strengthening. You'll be able to respond in a way without the judgment, with the, oh, okay, this is what I'm noticing today. This is what I want to lean into more. This is where I might want to dial it back more in the you to you, not what you think it should be like, but what do you need it to be like, and calibrate from there. So if you are ready, I'm in a kneeling position, so I'm going to come up to stand. We'll find our 6 movements today, kind of our OG of 6 movements from a standing position. So find your mountain pose, landing into your feet. And maybe just a moment to really feel your feet, whether you're barefoot like me in socks or shoes or slippers, but land into the floor that's beneath you. And as you stand here, invite your arms to drop by your side, but give a quality of openness, like open to receive. Oh, the possibilities of this practice. That's what it is. It's the possibilities of practice. We practice and we try things out. And oh, we forget. And then oh, we remember we're in a practice again. Here we are. So the possibilities here, palms turned open, quality of breath coming into view. And now let's move with it. As you take an inhale, greet your arms out to the side and up a little higher, any amount. And as you breathe out, lower the arms down. And let's repeat that. Inhale, arms sweep out to the side, up any amount, tall reach. And exhale, arms down by your side. And creating this conversation, breath, movement, and how's it all feeling? Exhale, release, letting that go. All right, now we got a little more circulation going. For our forward fold, I'll turn to the side. Feet are about hip width. They could even go a little bit wider. And now bend your knees. You can set your hands right on the middle of the thighs. You're already starting to fold. You could also start to move elbows to the thighs, increasing that fold. Or welcome a little more of an inversion where you start to lengthen your legs and your heart and head drop slightly more. It's really key here. Listen to sensation. Listen to sensation not only in the muscles, but in that fluidic quality of your body here. Come up if anything feels like too big of a wave. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Wherever you are in your fold, feel your feet again. Land, mindful grounding, press down into your feet and slowly lift yourself back up to greet your mountain pose shape. And if you set your feet a little bit wider, you can bring them back closer together. All right, side bend. Right hand on your belly. Sweep up with the left arm, any amount. Reach the hand high. Side bend to your right. Lean on over. And now notice the conversation through the left side of the body. Some areas might be feeling it more. Generate your side bend for you. 2 more breaths. Root down into your feet and come back up. Left arm's going to release, left hand to your belly, right arm, bring it on up. And now side bend over to your left. And you're greeting that a little or a lot. And then you start to notice where the quality of the shape is speaking to you. And you can adapt. Like today, I'm feeling my shoulder wants to be a little bit wider out with the arm. That feels better today. Last breath. All right, bring it on out. Release both hands. They can shake out by your side. Prepare for the back bend. So you can all turn sideways. Hands could be at your hips, elbows draw back, or place your hands in your back pocket. Root strongly into your feet and then start to feel like you're lifted up a little higher to the sky. Stay there, extension through the spine, or add an element of back bending where you lean back. Hands are comfortably on the rim of the hips and your heart is uplifted with the help of your shoulder blades. Muscles, structure of you, communicating so you feel supported. Exhale, bring it on out. Let that be. Whew, I just got a good espresso shot there. That felt nice. All right, let's step the feet just a little bit wider for rotation. Bend your knees, hands to your thighs. For our rotation, we dynamically flow. With your right shoulder, start to turn it to the left. You'll look to the left with your eyes, with your chest. And now come back through center. And now you'll look over to your right. That left shoulder will come in a little bit, rotating rib cage around. 2 more times back and forth. Rotate your rib cage. Look to your left. Rotate your rib cage, breathing through the cycle of change. Look to your right. 1 more time each side. After you go to the right, you'll be back in center. Push through your feet, come on back up. Maybe a few rolls of the shoulders as you reset your mountain pose. Arms by your side, palms turned forward. Maybe a little more action through your fingers here. Now a few postures to really start to dial in our quality of listening. Tree pose. We did this a couple weeks ago. Step into your left foot finding the roots, that mindful grounding, push down. And with your right leg, lift your right leg up a little bit or a lot and open the door of the leg. Your knee will turn out to the side, but only to the point of listening to that right hip. Right. Your right foot could be quite low, or let it rest somewhere on the inside of your left leg, sorry. We're here for 2 more breaths. You can move the arms, your branches, or just let them be by your side. All right, right knee is going to come in. Step down with your right foot. Right foot now is in that mindful grounding. Push it down. Stabilize around your right leg. Lift your left foot up a little or a lot. Open the door of the left leg. Listen to the quality of your hip as the knee swings out to the side. Rest your foot on the inside of the right leg. Now you might be wobbly like me on this side, but you're listening. I'm listening. And my muscles are also listening, catching where they need to stabilize. 2 more breaths. All right, let it be, let it go. Left knee forward, left foot down, both feet back to the ground. Horse stance. Now feet go pretty wide. Step them comfortably wide. And look down, like actually look. That's part of being seen. Like, what are my feet doing? Feet are gonna turn out just a little bit, right? Now knees, let your knees bend and you sit like you're sitting on a horse, spine tall, right? Now with horse stance, as you settle into your legs, just imagine your legs are wanting to do tree pose as well. So you'll start to hear, listen to the muscle sensation in your legs. And with your arms, sweep them all the way up, reach them high. Bend your elbows, bring them out. So now we're like this big saguaro cactus. We'll be here for 3 breaths. You might feel a little pickup in the energy. Use your breath. Ooh, ironing it out. Oh, the possibilities here. Last breath. And now bring it on out. Ah, sweet release. Listen to that release. Ah, that little bit of ease. Bring your feet closer together again. We're back in mountain pose. Last standing posture here is chair pose. I'm going to turn to the side again. In chair pose, your feet, they can have a little bit of space between it. Bend your knees, sink back like you're going to sit into a chair, and then sweep your arms forward. Or keep going with the arms, sweep them up a little bit higher. There's some action in your legs. You can even think of lifting the heart up a little bit more, and maybe the heart does go up a little bit more. Lift your gaze a little bit more. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Bring it on out. It might feel nice just to step back to mountain or give yourself a shake out to mountain. And you're here. Pause, feel. I know for myself today, I'm just, oh man, feeling just a little more pickup of afternoon energy. My legs feel a little more alive. And I notice, yeah, my heart's moving, circulation working. So listen, I'm going to be quiet about 30 seconds. Listen, how do you feel? How is your body speaking to you? Compassionate listening on purpose. Three more breaths here. And let that go. You might notice in that quality of compassionate listening, maybe through that short amount of time, there was a little bit of down regulation, or maybe not, right? But maybe you did start noticing from that chair pose, things started to de-escalate within the body. That's some good stuff. All right. I'm going to take a seat. You're welcome to take a seat too. Or if you're feeling like, oh, I sit so much during the day, can I just stand Of course you can, but stand comfortably. I'm going to tip my screen just a bit here. All right, friends, we're going to move into a breathing practice that's called the humming bee breath. And the humming bee breath uses the quality of sound with our exhalation. We're also going to layer in a hand position, and we call these mudras in yoga. This is called Lotus Mudra, where you'll take the heel of your hands and place them together, and then find your pinkies, find your thumbs, and place those together. And then your inside 3 fingers are either extended straight out, or you can relax them a little bit more. So if you look at your hands, right, it's like a flower in bloom. And you can have soft shoulders here. You can rest this Lotus Mudra in front of your heart. You can soften your gaze down to the mudra or close your eyes. So the humming bee breath, right? We know, pollinators. We think of bees going and helping pollinate from flower to flower, bringing the sweetness into the moment. Lotus Mudra is known in many cultures as a mudra, a quality, an action of compassion, of loving kindness, of friendliness to self and others. So as you welcome in the humming bee breath, just welcome in this quality of adding a little sweetness as you communicate you to you. As you notice your breath, greet an inhale in through your nose. And as you exhale, you'll hum in a low, soft volume. When your body is gently ready to inhale, you inhale again, no force. And as the exhale begins, you exhale with a hum. And you repeat. Inhale, smooth, steady, in through the nose. Exhale, hum any pitch, any tone. Letting that long breath ride out. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, humming bee. 3 more. Last one, soft, gentle breath. Welcome and inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Lotus Mudra can now just rest palms, fingers all together. And letting that practice go. Hands back down to your lap or by your side. Noticing the quality of that practice as you blink open your eyes to the space around you, present for the space within you. Thank you, friends, for that practice today. Julie's going to end our time together with some science and conversation.
So that compassion sandwich is so important because the compassionate, warm-hearted wish does involve the amygdala. And so this was a study in which people looked at a photo of a real orphan whose parents were lost in the Haitian hurricane in 2013, and then had a choice to give money. So the moment they saw the picture of this child, the amygdala lights up, and it makes sense. It's sad, right? This child lost their parents. sympathy involves feeling a little bit of that pain. But then, when asked to give, if they gave a little bit of their own money to the orphanage to help, the nucleus accumbens arises. It feels good to be able to make a difference. It feels good to give. The people who did not give, their amygdala stayed active. And that's maybe more predictive of wincing, or maybe they just weren't able to give and feel bad. The amygdala is important to having compassion. When long-term experts at meditation heard the sounds of suffering, the amygdala was on. But when they gave the compassionate wish, then nucleus accumbens, reward, dopamine. So if you leave the amygdala on, it activates the HPA axis and releases cortisol. Cortisol causes burnout, puts you in the panic zone, and it has all those deleterious effects that we mentioned early on. But yet we're inundated by all sorts of imagery throughout the day, or maybe patients in our world, or family members or friends who are experiencing distress. And our compassion is called for, and without being able to have that compassion sandwich, we might not be able to turn it off that sympathy part and turn it into the giving a prayer, giving a wish. So, this woman is a little closer to home. This was Hurricane Helene from last year. And here she is, she's lost everything, but she has her 2 pups. She's checking on them. And maybe today, she really still exists. Those pups, you could create a wish. May they be well. That helps. And meditation means familiarization. So the more you get used to doing these practices, the better. And Laurel talking about loving yourself, this acceptance of our emotion it's not about tolerating harm or it's just the way I am, right? It's about mindful changes in our relationship to those thoughts and emotions. We're not judging, and that lack of judgment is helping to not put us in the panic zone, like, oh no, I had this terrible thought or I did this terrible thing, and then you can't, you're not really able to work with it. Awareness, and this is a quote from a paper, this is on a mindfulness-based cigarette cessation study. Awareness and acceptance, rather than avoidance or reduction of emotional states, is a mechanism of behavioral change seen across many different disorders. And they listed so many studies that show the importance of that acceptance. It seems paradoxical. It seems like you should, hit it with a hammer, but it really puts you in that panic zone. If you want to be in that stretch zone or growth zone, you have to have that love. And then if you do get in the panic zone, no worries. Heidi showed us the Brahmati bumblebee breath, which helps with mental stress, anxiety, and in just 5 minutes, this study showed it lowers heart rate and blood pressure in healthy subjects because it evokes that parasympathetic dominance very quickly. You definitely put that in your pocket as something like, ooh, I'm in the panic zone. Brahmati breath, if you can do it. The home practice will be integrating some of these practices like the loving kindness or the Brahmati breath. But in particular, when you see suffering, doing that on the spot wish or an on the spot prayer can be, really, really helpful. So I want to leave a little bit of time for us to have a bit of a question answer period. Well, we're right at 1 o'clock actually. We had a lot to say today about it was communication after all.
Yes, Julie, exactly.
If you have questions and want to stay on a little bit, feel free to ask us.
Yes.
Definitely. And you can always email us. Anthony can get you our email, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We want to honor your time, but like Julie said, we're here for a few minutes if you have questions.
Yeah.
Or want to share anything.